An overlooked aspect of physical fitness. So, what is an overlooked aspect of physical fitness? Well, it is a personality type that you have to have, which is being an individualistic type of personality. And basically sticking up for yourself, standing up for yourself when your values are challenged. I've been going out pretty much every night. I would say between 5 and 7 days a week. Just out, about, and around people. Since about a year and a half ago. It's been pretty much nonstop at this point. Pretty much every time I go out, my physical fitness is challenged. Why is that? It's because we live in what I would call an obesogenic culture. I actually took that term from this textbook that I read one time. In American culture, there is just food sort of portrayed everywhere. Every sort of like social event you go to, there's always going to be food and beverages there. And, oftentimes people will kind of guilt trip you into consuming those things. However, I've never given into that. Not that, I'm trying so hard to do that. It's because I know that certain types of food are going to make me feel like crap. And that if I do consume them, even if I'm, being socially acceptable, well, I know that the next day I'm going to have a headache because the sugar is going to keep me up all night. I know that I'm going to have problems with my digestive system. I know that my body composition is not going to be good because normally these foods are not very high protein. So what I normally do is think about all the other factors involved for me changing my diet for other people. I'm not going to lie, it has not been easy. Mostly just socially. Being fat is now considered the new skinny. It's now considered it's almost like considered more attractive than being in shape. It's weird. It's because fat people are more involved in the culture. And I think that people kind of know this deep down. They just don't want to say it. And on top of that, it's kind of just human nature to want to eat, calories if they are available, because we have a survival instinct. However, if you are a very different personality, if you are somebody who wants it really bad, it doesn't matter what the statistics say, because I'm an example that it doesn't matter what the statistics say. If you really want to get in shape, you can make it happen. It's not impossible. It's perfectly possible. In my opinion, it's easy, but that's because I'm not like most people. It is definitely doable for anyone. I don't care what your genetics are. You could have 50 different genetic conditions and you can still make it happen, at least in my opinion. If you want this, you can get it. However, it's not going to be fun. It's not going to be easy, the process that is to get there. Once you are in shape, then it's a little bit different because then you can kind of just gauge your diet on a day-to-day basis, which is kind of what I do. Right now, what I'm doing is I'll do like low-calorie days and then high-calorie days, just depending on what the scale says. That's closer to how you track maintenance. A lot of people say, you got to do an average of like a month of your calories, see what your weight does, blah, blah, blah. Kind of, but not really. How I maintained the same weight for an entire year back in 2018 through 2019 was that I tracked my weight every day, wrote down the calories and wrote down the body weight every day, and just sort of adjusted calories on a day-to-day basis. And I was able to maintain pretty much the exact same weight for an entire year. In my opinion, that's more effective for maintaining your body weight. There's probably other ways to do it, but that's the way that I choose, and it's worked best for me. Back to sort of the main topic of this video, which is that, you kind of have to have this like individualistic personality to get into shape and to stay in shape even more so, is that it's just, sometimes it's just a social thing. You know how people say that they are a social drinker? Well, some people are social eaters. If you're a social eater, then you probably give in to peer pressure when you're around people and around a lot of food. It doesn't matter. People who have, substance dependence or addictions, oftentimes it's not even really the substance itself. It's the reliance, and it's the obsession. It's the obsession over whatever that vice is. For some people, it might be liquor. For another person, it might just be simply some kind of food they're addicted to, like pizza or donuts. And they have a fanatical obsession with it, and they can't stop eating it. And then they lead themselves down that path. I am not going to say that, I know certain people who have substance problems, but I will say that, I've seen it a lot because a lot of my friends and peer group has been, musical people, and it's it just, for whatever reason, I don't know why. I still don't understand this. Why is a musical occupation always associated with substance use? It doesn't make any sense. Anyways, I've just seen so much of that, and it never made sense to me. And I think now it kind of makes a little more sense to me because it's just that obsession. So, long story short, one overlooked aspect of physical fitness is, being yourself at all costs. And it is perfectly doable every day to stay in shape, because at the end of the day, we all have a choice.